So this is just slightly over a pound of clay, and I'm going to just show a quick how to make a mug. So the more round and in the middle you have it before you even go to center, the easier it's going to be. And I just stuck it on top of clay that was already there from the last pot I threw, but you don't have to have clay down there. And for centering, your left hand on the side like this is pushing in, and your right hand using this part of that hand, because that I could get flat instead of the hollow of your palm like that. So standing up right in the middle. Don't make the mistake of being way back here or over here or to the side. You're just right on top. And this way, if you could master that move, it could be the only move you need for centering a small ball of clay. So where your left hand is pushing in and the right hand's on the side. And you just gently let go, get your hands wet. And I have this little kick out here, as a little slight one. So I'm just gonna pull in with my fingertips all the way where my wheel head, or in this case the bat, meets my ball of clay. And then switch back to my one hand on the side and the other one on top. And what I tell students to do is, if you time this with your breath, it makes it so much easier. After so many years, I finally figured that out. And it does make it easier. So if when you're breathing in, you're just positioning your hands. When you breathe out, you exert your pressure. And when you breathe in again, you just gently ease off. And you do want to come off slow and steady, or you'll really be able to see where you let go. And then making your hole, you just want to go in slow and steady with your fingers. And I just suggest not your two thumbs, because they tend to fight. So you could either do 2 and 2 right on top of each other like that, or I kind of hold one hand open, let my thumb sort of be the guide, and slide these fingers in. And I just go down until I think I have about, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, or something like that of clay on my bottom. And then after you make your hole, you're going to pull open wide. So you are pushing on the bottom a little bit, but then you're pretty much staying flat across your bottom and pulling right against your wall. And you could do that 2 hands and 2 hands like this also, right on top of each other. And then you set your lip, which we call that your lip. And this is not pinching. It's just your right thumb outside, your index finger inside. I touch my index finger of my right hand to them, slide down, and a quick count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And gently let go. And again, you don't want to let go fast, because otherwise you'll see where you let go. And you keep your bottom dry. And sometimes I work with a groggy clay. Sometimes this grog or sand that's in the clay can hurt your hands. So then I push in down at the bottom to get a dent, and then I bring that dent of clay all the way up my pot. I let it go around a few times at the top, and then I gently set my lip. And now this is the moves until you get the height of your mug. So again, I'm pushing in down here until I have that dent. Now if I wasn't using a sponge, I'd come off here. I'd get wet, and I'd come back on, and I'd push in on my dent again. And then I would slowly, while pressing in, bring my pot up. And you want to just keep a steady, even pressure, and you want to also come all the way to your top. And then let it go around a few times, gently let go, set your lip. And again, pretty much after each pull-up, just keep your inside nice and dry, dry up your water. And this just gets repetitive, this part. So we come back in, making a dent at the bottom, and then I'm pulling that up. Now I didn't have to take my hands off because I'm using a sponge, so the sponge stays wetter than how my fingertips are able to stay. And then I gently come off, and I set my lip. Now let's just say that that's the shape of the mug that you want. That's fine, you could just stop right there. But the lip is kind of thick and flat. And so let's just, for fun, change the shape and also address our lip. I'm just going to bring it in just a little bit. So that's collaring it in and kind of using more this part of your hand and your fingertips, like that. And then gently coming off and set your lip again. After any change in and out, you want to remember to set your lip. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up and also shape just a little bit, since now I'm at that stage where I want just a little bit more height, but I'm going to address my shape at the same time. So I'm going to grab some clay from down here, And notice my wheel is spinning slower now too, because your clay is getting thinner and you want to have more of a gentle touch and a slower speed when you're down to those final parts of shaping, typically. And then I'm going to come up, I'm going to thin my lip a little bit more. And I'm going to set my lip at the end of my pull-up. So if you noticed, I pulled up and created that little shape on the outside. Again, keeping your bottom nice and dry. And now say maybe I want this to come in just a little bit. So I could just, with fingertips, just bring that part that I want to have come in and just be slow and steady. And I actually am using this thumb towards the top to support my lip. And it's okay if it gets that little bit of a waggle, but we don't want it to waggle so much that it flops on itself. And so then I was using my pinky really, but use whatever fingers are comfortable for you, but I was using that in that spot to bring that curve in. And then now I'm just using that same kind of position of your hands as if you were pulling up to bring that in just a little bit more, and again supporting that inner wall. And now I'm going to do a little pull up just on that part to create that lip and thin it out a little bit. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of water, but again we're to the final shaping step, so you don't really want to soak your pot down at this point. So I'm pushing it in, and as you see, that Bolger clay is staying in front of my fingertip, and I'm bringing it all the way up to my top, gently letting go. Then I'm going to set my lip, but ever so gently now, and you want to make sure that your fingers are gliding the whole time. We don't want to grab now because you can twist your whole pot at this point. And now I'm going to just bring that lip up just at that very top part. See that little waggle? We don't want to have it waggling, so I'm moving a wetter finger on it now. And then I'm going to bring the lip out just ever so little bit so that the liquid will want to pour out of my mug and into my mouth. And then I'm just going to gently set my lip with a soft sponge. I actually like to use a little piece of plastic to set the lip, a little piece of dry cleaning plastic. But I didn't grab any right this second, so we're just going to do it just like this. And one final last setting the lip and drying up your inside, which there's not much water in there anyway at this point. And now if you want to get more specific about curving that edge, that's when you would want to use a tool. And you could use a flexible rib. They come in different flexibilities really. I tend to like the tried and true metal rib for most things. And then I'm just curving the rib, and I am pushing out with my inside hand just against that rib spot, so that then I'm just finalizing that shape that I want my mug to be. And I could create then with a rib too, like maybe a little spot where this sort of creates a point of interest where that curve joins this curve. So maybe I'll make like a little line there. So my inside hand is pushing out at that line part a little bit. Oops, just stab my finger into the side. We'll fix that. And you do want to swipe your rib clean so that it's a clean edge that's going against your pot, so your clay doesn't grab it too much. Let's see if I could fix my finger indent there. There we go. And then I like to just trim off the extra clay down low, even though I'm going to trim this mug. There's no reason not to take this good fresh clay off right now, where it could go right back in the clay bag. Alright, so this is a little piece of plastic that I like to use to set the lip, and I just fold it over so that it's dry cleaning plastic, so that that's a, you know, clean, not wrinkly spot. But then I let the plastic get taut itself, so I'm just trying to move my thumbs towards each other just like that and just wrap around the rim. And then if you look, it just does really make the rim that much smoother, especially with the stoneware clay. And then last but not least is just with your wire tool taut, thumbs pressed hard so you don't cut through your bottom. And you just can lift your mug up. And there you have it, a little mug.